relationship expert. Talking about Hellen Chen, who is a relationship expert. She has written 20 books and is a best-selling relationship author. Her recent book, The Matchmaker of the Century, became a #1 bestseller in marriage and romance books at Barnes & Noble. Joining us now is expert Hellen Chen. When I say expert, we're talking matchmaker and relationship expert Hellen Chen. Hello, Hellen.
Hi, how are you? Hello, everybody.
We are doing well. I will tell you, there's a lot of testosterone on the show today, so hopefully you can straighten us up a little bit. But first of all, how does one become a matchmaker?
Well, if you mind people's business enough and then you want to see people to have a happy marriage, then you will become a matchmaker automatically.
Well, you've done a fantastic job because I did some research on you, and you have helped at least 51 couples get married.
Yes, definitely. That was really a great happiness time for me, too, not only for them.
All right, now the first thing that comes to mind is sometimes guys, maybe you see the potential in a guy, but the guy needs to present himself better, needs to channel that good side, that presentable side. What's the most important thing guys have to do to sort of put themselves into play to make that initial connection with somebody?
Well, guys need to be really in good communication because women really, really very much like to listen to a sweet talk. Not like, you can say everything like not really honest, but the woman do care so much you say something decent, and that please them. It's very important for guys know how to communicate. If you just men don't talk, it don't buy the woman's heart.
Hellen, right before you called in, our executive producer, John Edwards, said something. First of all, I should tell you, he's basically a barbarian. He doesn't even really need a knife or a fork to eat dinner. But he said something that I have a feeling you're going to take him to task for. John Edwards, say hello to our relationship expert, Hellen Chen.
Hi, Helen. How are you?
Hi, how are you, John?
Great. My question that I had was, we have birthdays, Christmas, anniversaries. Do we really need to celebrate Valentine's Day? Isn't it Valentine's Day just one of those, another day to milk a present out of somebody?
Well, it's not necessary to do that as a tradition. It depends on, case by case. Every woman different. But if you have a really terrible relationship, maybe this is a good chance for you to say something like, I love you, I miss you, or, and then give some gift and then patch it up. But if you have a very good relationship, you don't have to particular celebrate this. I don't do this particular with my husband because every day for us is a Valentine's Day. But if you're dating somebody, you want to making a very big statement, or if you want to just marry this person, then this is a very important day for you, so it's every case by case, but not particular need to spend any money at all. All you need to do is talk. Talk is just free, but it's so important. It don't cost you any money, but you should talk something. You should care about this, and then the woman will be very happy about that.
Now, you mentioned that it's important for guys to talk and to describe their feelings and so forth. And that's fine. Men can do that. But listening now is a huge challenge. How do you coach up men to actually listen well to their date or their prospective wife or somebody they really want to hook up with?
Well, two things very important. The first thing is you need to pay attention. That is the things what they want. So your eyes, you look at them, not look at your iPhone, not look at the floor. You should really look into their eyes, and you want to really make them understand. You concentrate, pay attention to them. That's the things will, freak women out. All you need to do is look at them, and you really, really seriously look at them. This is a very important. First thing is you concentrate. The second thing is you need to acknowledgement. Whatever they say, you need to acknowledge them. What it means is like you need to let them know you understand, you are listening, you actually hear what they say. You don't necessarily have to agree with them, but you should let them know what they say means something, and then you catch what they try to tell you, and that is very important. Instead of like, oh, okay, honey, I hear you, okay, very wonderful, okay, good, let's talk something else, then they will start to cry.
We're talking with matchmaker and relationship expert Hellen Chen here on 1380 The Fan 2. She has written 20 books and is a best-selling relationship author. Helen, the reason why we had you on today is something caught my eye. What women should not do on Valentine's Day or any other day if they would like a lasting relationship with someone. Talk about that.
Well, women shouldn't demand. You see, what guys don't like it. First thing is you say, well, why didn't buy me gift? Oh, why don't you kiss me? Oh, why are you miss me? Are you thinking about me? Well, don't forget me. Me. I. You know, and that's the problem. You know, men hate that. Don't demand. Don't request so much. You don't want so much. You know, if you want something, you give yourself. As a woman, you should tell them, I think about you, or I miss you, or I love you. It's better than ask them, do you love me? Well, why don't you tell me you love me? Or, you know, where's the chocolate? Well, you didn't buy me flower. And then you're making men really pissed, you know. And the other thing is, don't tell them what to do. Don't tell them like, you don't do this, you don't do that. You know, please don't do this, or please do this. Or tell them right and wrong. Men hate that. So when women try to like educate men, you know, quote unquote, educate men, then you lose the whole game. Men hate that. Don't tell them this is right, this is wrong. You know, they don't need another mother. So they wanted a lover. They don't want a mother. So this is a woman shouldn't do. And don't ever do that. And then don't angry. Just be cute, be nice, be sweet. You know, men love that much, much more. But if you're angry and you're ugly face, they remember for 3 years, and you lost the whole game.
Yeah, I can definitely see where we need to have this on tape so that I can play it at home. I mean, I don't have that situation come up much, but it's just nice to hear it from somebody besides, well, me, for instance.
Yes. Helen, let me ask you this. You're going to help a lot of our male listeners out right now. If their wife or girlfriend says the following, give us the perfect answer. Does my ass look fat in this dress?
Oh, yeah, just tell them that whatever you wear, honey, you're beautiful, you know. Don't make a comment. Don't tell them like, you know, particularly your exactly opinion. The best for men in this type of things, you know, give no opinion, but tell them you trust them and tell them they're beautiful, and that's all you need to do.
So sometimes you should lie to them to tell them they look good if they really don't?
Well, if you say like, you know, you don't want to tell them you're ugly. I mean, that's stupid to say, right? But you tell them, honey, you know, I remember, you know, when you put the dress, you look more better than this one when you wear the pants. That's all you need to say. And so you can give your opinion very honestly.
Well, Helen, you are solving a lot of problems. Let's move on to another one.
Okay.
Most men that I know of complain about how much sex they get from their either wife or girlfriend. Is there a number you can tell us how many times a week? What is appropriate? Are we talking 2, 3?
The thing is, it depends on men's ability. You know, it's everybody different. But the most important is, you know, when you let her know you want her, or like you making her, you know, to pay attention to her, is much more important than how many times. Because woman is not really all the time is a maniac also, you know. It's like a very important, you just go with the flow, but that you hold them, you kiss them, and you tell them you love them. That is really more real, you know, instead of counting how many times.
Helen, if there are women listening out there right now, though, isn't there, I mean, there are a few occasions here or there where, to use a sports term, they need to take one for the team.
Well, that's all right. It's like you know, you need to do it when you really request. But then also in the meantime, you know, women need to be understand like you love them. Also, not like okay, you have to do it, because sometimes men just very honest and say, well, today we do for something else, we sleep early. You know, and that's fine too. You know. It's not every time you have to have this type of rule. You see, for love, there's no reason. If you love somebody, you are very passionate, you're very nice, and you also passionate to wait for everything to happen if you're really in love. So it's more important is you in communication and stay in the mood of you in love, instead of counting the times or like what you do to me or what should we do now. You know, so much rule is making everybody tired, because we have another 20 years ahead of us. We need to cope with.
Now, Helen, let's just say we get to Valentine's Day, and we got the flowers, and we got the chocolate, we got a little something extra, and the wife doesn't want to, you know, do the romance kind of thing. I mean, what do you expect?
You don't expect anything. You just tell her, well, honey, maybe next year, you know. But at the meantime, it's like you don't have to wait for exactly this holiday. You need to be so relaxed. It's not like, okay, this holiday we have to have making a statement, you know. It's not like an election. It's so important. It's okay. Relax, you know. And if it's not a good mood, you have to be happy yourself. You don't depend on the other person make you happy. Doesn't matter if it's man or woman. It's the same thing. If my husband not in the mood today, he's not in the mood today. Don't force her. Force him. It's not the right direction. You have to be very relaxed. And then if you want to eat chocolate, you eat chocolate. You know, if you don't like the flower, you don't like the flower. Just the way you are. You know, it's just very relaxed, especially the married couple. You know, don't try to making this a big time, then you fight. I mean, it's worse and worse and worse what you can get. You know, you say, oh, Valentine's Day we have a big fight. Well, that's okay too. You know, I mean, we cope with everything. It means to be for real, for life, instead of try to be like a dress up, like a wedding every time. You know, you don't do that. You do once a lifetime. That's enough. The rest of time, you relax. But then you just believe we're going to get better, and no matter whatever problem comes, we cope with, and then we trust each other, and we're going to deal up with each other's relationship this lifetime. And we go with let go, and we believe in love. That's what you want.
Well, Hellen Chen, I cannot tell you how much we appreciate you joining us on the show today. We would love to have you on from time to time. I think you are going to help out a lot of relationships here in St. Louis. Is there a website where people can look you up?
Yeah, just the matchmakerofthecentury.com. Easy. That was the
Matchmakerofthecentury.com. Matchmakerofthecentury.com. That is matchmaker and relationship expert Hellen Chen. But, Helen, I'm serious. We'll be calling you. We'd love to have you on from time to time.
Oh, wonderful. I'd be more than glad to. Thank you so much. You guys have a wonderful time then.
Thank you. Take care.
Thank you.
That is matchmaker and relationship expert Hellen Chen joining us here on 1380 The Fan 2. I got to tell you what, every once in a while when somebody sends an interview request, you hit gold. And I think we hit gold right there with one Hellen Chen.
Yeah, I'd like the advice, the best advice I gleaned from that was if you're, and this, my daughter's going to be getting married, and it's, I thought, real good advice for a relatively young married couple. You know, you have the big wedding once. Everybody dresses up. It's a big show. After that, you relax. You got the rest of your lives. You know, I mean, you only do that big production the one time. Then, you know, relax, get into your routines, and enjoy it instead of having to make a big production. So, very good advice.
That was actually very interesting.
No, it was.